Introducing first, in the Lucas Oil blue corner, standing 5 feet 3 inches tall, official weight 116 pounds. This Henzo Gracie Philly fighter is undefeated in her professional campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, from the fighting city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, presenting the challenger, Jamie Colleen. Her opponent across the cage, fighting out of our General Tire red corner, stands at 5 feet tall, official weight 114.6 pounds. This Saxon Muay Thai fighter has a professional record of 5 victories, no defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the pride of Palmdale, California, the reigning and defending undefeated King of the Cage, women's strawweight champion of the world, Dynamite Danielle Taylor.
And here we go, round 1. The women's strawweight title is on the line. Danielle Taylor, your current champion, defending it against Jamie Colleen. I'll tell you what, Danielle Taylor's a type of fighter that will take any fight. It doesn't matter. You know, you have those one fighters that worry about, oh, I don't want to fight that guy or this guy. She has never ducked or dodged a fight, and this proves it tonight. She's like, I just want to fight. I want to defend my title. True warrior's heart right there.
Yeah, but when you're 106 pounds, there's not a lot of female fighters on the planet for you to deny an opportunity.
Sure. And 115, you know, she could easily make 105.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. But just look at her stance. Super compact, really, really tight. Has kind of a low stance, so it's even harder to hit her because she's so small.
Yeah, and how she gets out of the way so quick. The art of ducking and dodging is well with her.
Well, Colleen just looking really comfortable in there, super relaxed, just kind of finding her time, finding her range, checking kicks, light on her feet.
And we've seen her opponents in the past that is really, you know, has a height advantage, but she's able to sustain it with some nasty, you know, takedowns.
Well, part of it is she's so intimidating. You wouldn't even think to say that about a 5 foot tall human being.
Yeah.
But you step in there, you see her at weigh-ins. She's shredded beef, insane shape, and looks like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So by the time they get in there, her opponents are looking at her going, oh my gosh, I want no part of this person.
Able to get shots in so quick and back out, but Jamie Colleen is just trying to feel this out.
Well, Colleen is really light on her feet, just really loose, just looking for that shot. Went to throw that leg kick, then slips out of the way of that overhand right of Taylor's.
Stay calm, Jamie. Stay calm. You got all night long, no rush.
And you hear the corner, you got all night, don't rush. That's 5 rounds. 5 5-minute rounds to be exact if this does go the distance. So absolutely correct in that department. Colleen comes in but takes a shot.
Just misses with a straight right hand, left hook. Gets cracked a little bit with the straight right from Taylor. But you could tell she means business. And that was a clean combination.
That's what we're talking about. Danielle Taylor with those combinations. Both fighters continue to feel comfortable here on the feet. No one's really changed elevation quite yet.
Well, I don't anticipate this to be a ground war. Both of these guys are stand-up fighters, really clean on their feet, way more comfortable on their feet than they are on the ground. And I'll tell you what, both of them like to hit people.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's like a car crash every time they meet up. You just don't know what's going to happen. But, man, there's just some major shots being thrown.
Yeah, that's funny to say about strawweight, whether it's male or female, but both of these ladies are throwing combinations and punches with bad intentions.
Yeah, you got some like light heavyweight knockout going on here. Moving in, circling in, but man, those shots are just, you can hear the wind and the heat behind it.
Just such quickness from both of these gals.
Colleen, man. Couple shots thrown to follow up with a kick.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was off of Taylor come bum rushing in, slipped a couple of those punches, went 1, 2, 3, 4 on the way out, and just ran her down with that finishing kick.
You can tell both fighters are veterans of the sport. Much respect between these two, but you know, Colleen keeping those hands high, constantly covering up just as much as Taylor. Couple kicks being thrown. Danielle Taylor just looking for that right opportunity, spinning back fist, misses. And now both fighters will meet center.
Taylor faking that shot, came in with a 3-punch combination, but ate one on the way out.
Great job done by both fighters as we head off into round 2. We'll see you on the other side here at King of the Cage, Bitter Rivals. Welcome back to Citizens Business Bank Arena here in Ontario, California. Quick look at replay here of round 1. Jamie Colleen, Danielle Taylor, strawweight title on the line. And me and Sean were talking about that earlier. Both fighters engaging, but Danielle Taylor, once she gets on the inside, that's when a lot of the damage takes place.
I'll tell you what, Steve, one of the things I really noticed about Danielle Taylor in that first round, she's starting to get more and more comfortable just walking in, and she might pay for that later in this fight. She's going to have to set up that closure with these type of punches, jabbing her way in, maybe throwing a straight right, and then teeing off once she gets on the inside. But towards the latter part of that first round, she was walking in, and I'll tell you what, Jamie Colleen will make her pay for that at some point.
You know, sometimes being the aggressor is good, but sometimes it's not good.
Well,
it's also a benefit for your opponent.
Right, especially when you're a counter fighter like Colleen, who just ate a big overhand right from Taylor.
Danielle Taylor just looking for that opening. Jamie Colleen just seems to wait for her to come in.
Yeah, that's that counter fighting mentality right there. Doesn't really want to be first, not real comfortably being first, not real comfortable coming forward either. But that's not a problem when you're fighting Danielle Taylor, because she's going to come forward.
Yeah. Taylor continues to circle around.
Big overhand right there from Colleen. Missing those counter shots as Taylor, now pressing Taylor up against the fence.
Get her back, Jamie. Get her back, Jamie.
Colleen continues to work her up against the cage. Taylor looking to get out of this.
Taylor trying to slip out the back door, and taking the back now is Taylor. Going 2-on-1, great technique from Colleen, trying to spin back into her. Jamie's corner asking her to turn in. Barely missing with a big knee is Taylor.
2 minutes, 36 seconds remains. Nice knee by Taylor to break things up.
Colleen coming out of that unscathed, which is a rare event if you're fighting Danielle Taylor. And that's how you enter right there. 2-3 punch combination. I'd love to see Taylor fake stepping out and shoot back in with another 3-punch combination. She's going to have to work to get to the inside here of Jamie Colleen, because Colleen's not letting her in easy by any means.
You know, the strategy she had against Avila was get on the inside, throw a couple shots, get on the outside, and a nice takedown by Colleen. But reverses things is Danielle Taylor.
Yeah, she had Taylor going in the right direction, but Taylor's hips were having none of it, ending in full side control now. Let's see what Taylor can do from this position.
Stay calm, Jamie.
Coming out the back door now is Colleen, ended up in full mount.
Nice shots. Colleen trying to roll out of it. Taylor going to take her back.
Wide open armbar there from Taylor. I'm having to question her jiu-jitsu right now because she could have put this thing away with just that armbar. Was just there for the taking and chose not to take it. One hook in now is Taylor. Now trying to roll on an armbar, possibly a triangle from a horrible position. Colleen's going to end up on top when this is all said and done.
33 seconds. Taylor trying to work that armbar. Colleen's going to go out the back door and punish her for her efforts, and they're back on their feet.
Taylor doing a good job of getting back to her feet from there. Looking a little tired now is Colleen.
Colleen takes a shot, but look at this. You know, you can tell she's tired, but comes back with some explosiveness. That's scary when you see that in a fighter, where you think they're tired, you're going to throw some shots, and then all of a sudden they wake up from the dead. Like, whoa.
What a great judo throw, but with unbelievably good hips is Taylor. Ends up on top. How do you even score that round?
Yeah, that was just back and forth. Taylor ends up on top of that nice takedown too, but man, just a couple last words with their new training camp. And King of the Cage is being brought to you in part by General Tire, celebrating 100 years of adventure. And here we go. Round 3.
But I tell you what, Steve, at the end of that first round, Jamie Colleen seemed like she was a little bit tired. If I was Danielle Taylor, I would be putting it on her right now. If I was her corner, I'd be asking her for pressure. Jumping hook just misses.
And you can hear her corner saying, wait for the step in, and that's what you were talking about earlier, Sean.
Yeah, it's really obvious when Taylor's going to come in. If she came in punching, it would be less obvious, even if they're fake punches. And there's a good combination. Fake jab, outside leg kick. Those things like that are going to give her an opportunity to close that distance. Beautiful jab, one high, one low.
And half of the battle is the memory banks, trying to remember these moves, putting them together, choreographing, you know, what you're going to do out there. And to continue to mix things up, man, that's like improvising. Danielle Taylor continuing to be the aggressor here.
Well,
Colleen just waiting for that opportunity.
Yeah, you know, she's looking to be the aggressor, but her head is still, she's not moving in the first couple rounds. Her head was moving side to side, up and down, changing elevation, really hard to hit, but eats a big right as she comes lunging in.
Outside leg kick, a push kick. Starting to put some heat behind those hands there.
Yeah, Jamie Colleen now it's starting to be a little more aggressive. And a good straight right, left hook, straight right combination by Taylor. Danielle again with just her head standing straight forward. She's going to have to move her head. She's always been really good about that. Getting more aggressive now is Colleen throwing high kicks.
Yeah, you got to like that. As she was circling around, she's really taking advantage of her limbs and throwing that high kick. And it almost fatally landed there.
Yeah, it was close. Big overhead right misses, but eats a right uppercut from Jamie Colleen.
Yeah, I totally heard teeth close on that one. That was pretty tough. Continues to press forward here. Who's going to be the aggressor next? This has kind of been back and forth in this round. Taylor comes in, but Colleen's starting to utilize that uppercut every time she comes in.
Yeah, Colleen's starting to find her distance, starting to get her timing right, and as I say that, Taylor is just starting to slow down, starting to question her technique just a little bit, not moving her head the way that she should. Closing the distance now, being aggressive is Jamie Colleen.
Taylor continues to throw some knees and works Colleen up against a cage.
Now this is the most difficult time, Steve, of somebody who up until this point has absolutely dominated and intimidated every one of their fighters. You know, Danielle Taylor has not been in this position before where it's in the end of the third round and there's an opponent standing in front of her and standing in front of her aggressively.
Both fighters content with standing up. 47 seconds remains.
Boy, as this fight goes along, Taylor's technique starting to fall apart. Came in with a 1-2-3 and then went straight back. She does that another time or two. Colleen's going to be able to close that distance and put her away. Taylor doing a good job of catching a foot, closing the distance, and now she needs to work. This is where she lives. When she's aggressive in here, throwing knees, elbows, trying to finish a fight, nobody could stop her.
Oh, and a nice takedown.
But having none of it as Jamie Colleen gets up banging.
Oh, wow. 5 seconds a little short there, but man, doesn't mean no fireworks exploded in this round. Both fighters just constantly back and forth. And that will conclude that round as we head off into the next round. Stick around, round 4 is coming up here at King of the Cage from the Ontario Citizens Business Bank Arena. And welcome back to Ontario, California from the Citizens Business Bank Arena. Strawweight title is on the line. A quick highlight of round 3. Both fighters just turning it on here, but towards the end, that's where more exchanges happened. The aggression came up a bit. As we head off into round 4, we'll see if that changes.
Boy, going into these championship rounds, it seems like Jamie Colleen is picking up a little bit of momentum. And Danielle Taylor starting to slow down a little bit. You don't see her do that very often, is stepping backwards. Colleen's corner asking her to keep her hands up, lifting that chin ever so slightly, and it doesn't take much. Barely missing with a spinning back fist. Closing the distance here is Colleen.
Talk about a diversion tactic there, huh? That absolutely worked for her as they close the gap. Continuing to work Taylor up against the cage here. And this is sometimes Taylor's bread and butter when she's in on the inside, but Colleen is trying to take that game plan out the window. Things get reversed a bit.
That's a good job of Taylor reversing that. Had a head arm trapped in there for a second. Double underhooks. See if she can change elevation and suck her in. As soon as I say that, getting a single underhook, digging that in there is Jamie Colleen.
And they get right back to it. I mean, it's so quiet in here right now. I mean, it was louder earlier, but right now people are just anticipating something is going to happen between these two. They've just been trying to end it.
Well, it's good as strikers that they're overhand right. Catches Taylor, and it's over.
Wow, just like that, lightning flash. I mean, it was so quiet right now, and then all of a sudden, instantly. Oh, man, your new strawweight champion in convincing victory fashion. This did not go the distance. It ends in round 4. Oh, man, what a painful, painful shot.
Jumping in with an overhand right and eats an overhand right on the way in. Danielle Taylor is knocked out.
Let's take a look at another angle here. Man, that was just so, oh man. Right in her tracks, stops her.
See, this is one of the most vicious knockouts I've seen in MMA to date.
Definitely in the women's division too. I mean, there's no question about that. Jamie Colleen, right on the button. And she is okay. That's good to hear. When we return, it is the official announcement here at King of the Cage. And welcome back to Ontario, California, here at the Citizens Business Bank Arena. Sean, oh man.
What a fight. You could tell from the beginning that somebody was going to get knocked out.
I think the crowd felt that too.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 1 minute, 47 seconds of round number 4. Your winner by knockout and new King of the Cage Women's Strawweight Champion of the World from the Fighting City of Philadelphia, Jamie